Good morning, class 6. Today we will do chapter 5 of your honeysuckle, a different kind of school. From the name, you will be very curious that what does the name, what does it imply, a different kind of school. Once you have read the chapter, you will understand why this name has been given to this chapter. Do you know these words? If you don't, find out their meanings. Bandage, crutch, cripple, honor, misfortune, system. Look at the picture in this unit and guess in what way this school may be different from other schools. So you can see the picture and try to make a guess. As you can see that the girl is has blindfolded herself and the boy is trying to help her to move. Okay, let's begin the chapter. I had heard a great deal about Miss Beam's school, but not till last week did a chance come to visit it. When I arrived, there was no one in the sight but a girl of about 12. Her eyes were covered with a bandage, and she was being led carefully between the flower beds by a little boy who was about 4 years younger. She stopped, and it looked like she asked him who had come. He seemed to be describing me to her. Then they passed on. So, this picture we have seen, and when the writer went to the school, she felt that somebody has come, and that little boy described him to her. Miss Beam was all that I had expected, middle aged, full of authority, yet kindly and understanding. Her hair was beginning to turn grey, and she had the kind of plump figure that is likely to be comforting to a homesick child. I asked her some questions about her teaching methods, which I had heard was simple. So the writer went to meet Miss Beam, and he said that as he had expected, Miss Beam was middle aged, and from her appearance, it looked as if she had the full authority, full control. She was little stout, that is little plump means fat, but then cute, you can say, and likely to be, and that will be comforting, the children, if the child is feeling homesick, is missing his or her parents, that women can give be comfort to the child. No more than is needed to help them to learn how to do things. Simple spellings, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and writing. The rest is done by reading to them and by interesting talks, during which they have to sit still and keep their hands quiet. There are practically no other lessons. So she told him that what they learn in the school is like simple spellings. They learn adding, subtracting, multiplying, and writing. Then thereafter, interesting books or stories are read out to them. That is all what they do. And when the reading is being done, they have to sit quietly and listen. They do not have to fiddle around and do something. They have to listen to whatever is being read. The real aim of this school is not so much to teach thought as to teach thoughtfulness, kindness to others, and being responsible citizens. Look out of the window a minute, will you? So she said that the purpose of the school is to inculcate thoughtfulness among the children so that they can become kind. And then she asked him that if he could just spare a minute and look outside the window. I went to the window, which overlooked a large garden and a playground at the back. What do you see? Miss Beam asked. I see some very beautiful grounds, I said, and a lot of jolly children. It pains me, though, to see that they are not all so healthy and active looking. When I came in, I saw one poor little girl being led about. She has some trouble with her eyes. Now I can see two more with the same difficulty. And there is a girl with a crutch, watching the others at play. She seems to be a hopeless cripple. So he said that he is feeling sad or he is depressed, because when he had come to the school he saw that a girl who couldn't see was being helped by a younger boy. And then he said that when I is looking out now, he can see that, and he's feeling bad because these children are not so healthy, they are not leading a normal life. And he said that now he can see that there are two more children who are now from the window he can see them, who are also having problems. Then he said that he saw a girl with a crutch, so he felt that she it's very difficult for her to uh, lead the normal life, and that means because of that she might be feeling very very sad. And so Miss Beam laughed. Oh no, she said, she's not really lame. This is only her lame day. The others are not blind either. It is only their blind day. I must have looked very surprised, for she laughed again. This is a very important part of our system to make our children appreciate and understand misfortune. We make them share in misfortune too. Each term, every child has one blind day, one lame day, one deaf day, one injured day, and one dumb day. During the blind day, their eyes are bandaged absolutely and they are on their honor not to peep. The bandage is put on overnight so they wake blind. This means that they need help with everything. So, she said that in every session the children have to face, there are several days which they observe, like one day is a blind day, one day is a lame day, one day is a deaf day, one day is an injured day, so that they can also feel the pain and they can understand the misfortune. In some children, some children have to face this, so they are also being these children also walk in in their shoes to feel the pain or the difficulty which they face. This means that they need help. And she's told him that for the blind day, the bandage is tied over their eyes at night, so that when they get up in the morning they will not be able to see, and that day will be the blind day for them. So, and it is understood that they are it is on their they have to be honest that they are not able to see anything. This means that they need help with everything. Other children are given the duty of helping them and leading them about. They all learn so much this way, both the blind and the helpers. So when they are doing this, the person who is helping, he or she is also learning, and the person who is having a blind day is also learning lot of things. There is no misery about it. Miss Beam continued. Everyone is very kind, and it is really something of a game. Before the day is over, though, even the most thoughtless child realizes what misfortune is. So, even a child who is not very particular, who is little careless, when the day is over, he or she will become thoughtful, will also empathize. The blind day is, of course, really the worst, but some of the children tell me that the dumb day is the most difficult. We cannot bandage the children's mouth, so they really have to exercise their willpower. Come into the garden and see for yourself how the children feel about it. So, she said that some children feel that, or according to her, the blind day is the most difficult one. But then she said, when she had spoken to some children, they said that no, the most difficult day is a dumb day, because they have to work on their willpower, and since there is no bandage which can be put around their mouth, it is their willpower which they have to work upon, and they have to be quiet. And then she invited him to the garden so that he could see the children himself. Miss Beam led me to one of the bandaged girl. Here is a gentleman come to talk to you, said Miss Beam, and left us. Don't you ever peep? I asked the girl. Oh no, she exclaimed. That would be cheating, but I had no idea it was so awful to be blind. You can't see a thing. You feel you are going to be hit by something every moment. It's such a relief just to sit down. So she said, the writer asked her that, don't you feel that it is feel like peeping outside from the bandage? So she said no, she doesn't want to cheat. And then she said that although she has realized that it is very difficult to when a person for a person who is not able to see anything, and she said that the best thing is that to sit down at one place. So, are you helpers kind to you? Are your helpers? So she asked that the helpers who are leading them, are they kind? Fairly, but they are not as careful as I shall be when it is my turn. Those that have been blind already are the best helpers. It's perfectly ghastly not to see. I wish you to try. Shall I lead you anywhere? I asked. So she said that one person who has already had a blind day, they are the best helpers. But then she said that she feels that she can, if she is on her own, that then it is better for her. So she asked the writer if he could also try the blind day. The writer asked her that if he could lead her to any place. Oh yes, she said, let's go for a little walk. Only you must tell me about things. I shall be so glad when today is over. The other bad days can't be half as bad as this one. Having a leg tied up and hopping about on a crutch is almost fun, I guess. Having an arm tied up is a bit more troublesome because you can't eat without help. And things like that, I don't think I will mind being deaf for a day, at least not much. But being blind is so frightening. My head aches all the time just from worrying that I will get hurt. Where are we now? So while walking, she told him that the other days are not so bad as this one because she's not able to see, and she says that walking with a crutch, that means she's talking about the lame day, is fun because she keeps on hopping, like she enjoys hopping. But and then she said that tying an arm for is little troublesome because then you are dependent on someone for eating food. But and she said that she doesn't mind to be blind for at least although not much of it, not much, but she doesn't mind to be deaf, but being blind scares her, and she sees that the whole day she has her headache. The reason is that the thought keeps popping up that if she will get hurt in the playground. Suddenly she stopped and asked him that where they are. So the writer replied, in the playground. I said, we are walking towards the house. Miss Beam is walking up and down the garden with a tall girl. What is the girl wearing? My little friend asked. A blue cotton skirt and a pink blouse. I think it's Millie, she said. What color is her hair? Very light, I said. Yes, that's Millie. She is the head girl. So he told her that that Miss Beam is walking with a girl. So she asked the writer the color of the hair of that girl who is walking with Miss Beam and the uniform which she is wearing. And with that, she was able to tell him that she was Millie, and she is the because she is wearing pink blouse and cotton skirt, and the hair is light. That means she is the head girl. There is an old man tying up roses, I said. Yes, that's Peter. He is the gardener. He is hundreds of years old. And here comes a girl with curly red hair. She's on crutches. That's Anita, she said. And so we walked on. Gradually, I discovered that I was 10 times more thoughtful than I ever thought I could be. I also realized that if I had to describe people and things to someone else, it made me more interesting to me. When I finally had to leave, I told Miss Beam that I was very sorry to go. Ah, she replied, then there is something in my system after all. So she said that means there is that thoughtfulness in the writer's mind. With this, we end the chapter here, I'll be sending you the question answers. Please do them in your notebook. Thank you, class.